Boom. CROWNCAST. We're
Sup?
back.
Yo, yo, yo.
I'm Garrett Walker. I am the co-founder, CEO of Crown Design Group. We're an AVL integration company. We design, build, install, service, everything AVL, audio, video, lighting, big PAs, big LED screens, lighting, front lighting, architectural lighting, underwater lighting we're getting into, pool lighting just because of our pool lights are broken, so we're going to do that too. But yeah, welcome to CROWNCAST.
Yeah, CROWNCAST is a podcast where we share just some normal stuff sometimes. We just talk about whatever we feel like. Sometimes politics if we're in bad moods. Sometimes taxes.
I'm getting there.
I know, me too. But mostly we like to share our projects with you guys. We do so many cool projects all over the state of Florida, different parts of the country. And we've done a really bad job at like sharing that stuff, especially on our websites and stuff. And we thought that a podcast would be an easier way and better way of doing it. So a bit of a long form thing, but I can show you guys pictures and videos of different projects and kind of talk through the process of how we did it. And hopefully the information is usable by you if you're looking to do some type of project like this. So that's what CROWNCAST is. It can be a mix of a lot of things, I guess, but mostly us sharing what we do.
Yep. So like and subscribe. Tell us what you think. Today we have a special episode of CROWNCAST because every single episode is special. And we are going to be going over 2 Houselight projects that we've done in the last couple weeks.
I think this will be cool because there's a huge spread here as far as, let's just call it budget is concerned and products. The house lighting world is like, I remember when they first came out and it was like a major ordeal to like do like theatrical house lighting in your church auditorium or something.
Right.
Super expensive. There was only a couple options. Then everyone started making them.
And none of them worked.
And they all failed. Lots of them failed, or they burnt up really quick, or they flicker on camera, or whatever it is, you know? And so it's been a decade or more now of like, you know, these companies putting out these house lights, and we've used and installed so many. We've had to install just thousands and thousands of house lights.
We've tried Elation 6 pars. Were they 6 pars?
Yeah, when that light came out,
they were like, it's a house light.
Everyone can use it as a house light, use it as a house light. And we used it, and a lot of other people did too. It did not go well.
It looks great at first. And I guess the orientation of it sitting like, you know, a pendant, like shooting downwards. Right. All that heat goes to the back of it. And then it
those components up.
Burns things out. So early in the day, like probably 10 years ago, we did some 6 par house light installs. Yeah. Slowly but surely over like a couple months, they started to die. Yep. So then we had to go back and swap them all out on our dime. Yep. To a new fixture. That's integrity, folks. Right. I mean, it sucked for us so bad.
But everyone wanted to do it, and at the time, there was like one option, which was like a chroma key fixture. Yeah. The Inspire or whatever. When that thing came out, everyone was like, whoa, man. And it was awesome. Yep. When it came out, but it was expensive, and they were the only ones that did it. And so then people obviously liked the result and tried to do something comparable but cheaper, which is what everyone usually tries to do. And so the whole 6 par thing happened. Right. And yeah, it just didn't work because it wasn't set up right. Well, then Elation put out a pendant, which they called the color pendant, which was considered a house light.
It was a ripoff of the Inspire.
Yes.
The Chroma Q Inspire is a total ripoff.
Right.
But
half the price, basically, at the time. Price.
And I mean, everyone hates them now because they're starting to break now after a couple of years, but they lasted longer than anyone else.
Oh, yeah.
They've
been out
pretty
for
good.
10 years or so. I mean,
yep.
Some of them lasted, it depended on the batches you got, really. We noticed, I'm not even kidding, we have to installed thousands of color pendants. Yep. And
we at one point bought a whole container from China.
We did.
That's how much we put on those things. We're like, these things are good. Let's buy a whole thing and
for the money, it got you what you wanted, and we usually like sold a couple spares when we did projects so they could swap them out and do RMAs and stuff that they had to. It was just kind of a thing that you had to do. But those things were never meant to run for 10 years. Like they weren't built for that. Right. You know, they had a 2-year warranty, I think, on them or something like that. And typically they would last that long and longer a lot of times. Right. but they're not something that's going to last you a decade. They weren't. If they did, you got lucky, or
Right.
you dealt with a lot of RMAs and tried to fix them. We're repairing them now. A lot of people still have them. So, anyway, let's not get too far ahead. But so yeah, the color pendant came out. We used it a bunch. Then Chauvet put out a light too. Their pendant.
Horrible.
And it didn't go well.
No, we had a project where we did the Chauvet Houselight.
I forget what it's even called.
We didn't really pick it. It was just kind of pushed upon us for a couple different reasons that we won't bring up. But everything was great until they were like, yeah, you can't just keep the power onto them. Right. You have to turn off the power to them when you're not using them. Yeah. We're like, okay, wait. So you can't just send DMX and say, no light. Right. Like 0 intensity down. And then that's your off, which is what we would do. We use an architectural controller and it tells it to go intensity at 0. Right. And then they're like, no, you actually have to cut the power off to it. And at that point, we're like, well, I don't know. Yeah, that's not the way we want to work this thing. Yeah. But they had said that after. Yeah. So that was a rough thing. And if you talk to them now, they kind of know about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they haven't pushed that light since. Right. And they haven't done another one.
Nope.
So
I think they found out on the fly that these things were going to burn up if you didn't turn off the power to them.
Yeah, they just stay too hot or something. But then if you do that, then you can't walk into a room and push a button on a wall and have lights because there's no power to them.
You push a button, it turns on.
Right, you got to flip a Lentec panel or something.
A relay panel turns on the power, then sends the DMX address.
Yeah, light's got to load up. It's 10 seconds. Yep. Then you get light. And it doesn't work.
Not good.
So yeah, there was that whole era. Then other companies put stuff out. A lot of Chinese companies just started plopping things out as it got more and more intense with churches wanting to use these things.
What are some other ones that we've used?
We used Cameo. So Cameo was actually pretty cool. Those are German made. And we thought, all right, quality, right? And the cool thing about the Cameos is they had wireless DMX, which we can get into a little bit, but true wireless DMX, WDMX brand, if you understand what that is. All these other companies have their own wireless eFly stuff, Elation, American DJ has them. But they don't typically work well. WDMX is what you'd ever want to use if you use wireless DMX.
Right.
Think of that as like Dante. So we're starting to see WDMX stamps on some fixtures now where they're actually integrating that technology into it, which would be great because it actually works.
Yep.
So we tried Cameo out. Hardest thing with that was just, honestly, it was the customer service and stuff with the manufacturer. Being in Germany and their presence here is pretty small.
Yeah.
So it was tough.
And when you say we tested it out, I mean, every single time we have a new house light fixture, we buy one ahead of time. We put it up in our shop and we burn it for weeks and weeks and weeks. We try to burn it up. And
we'll put it in a hot box.
And we put it in a hot box. We test it.
In the top of our warehouse where it's hot in Florida.
Yeah.
Crank it to 100%, 24/7. See what we can do. See what we get.
We right now have a color pendant.
Yep.
Hung up in the shop, in the hot shop, up in the ceiling. I know. And it's been on for 5 years.
I know.
And it's perfectly fine.
I know.
5 years, right?
Yeah.
We've been here for 5 years.
In the heat. There's an AC running out there, but
a little bit.
But we just keep it at like 80. It's for humidity.
It's the same as it would be anywhere else in any venue.
Yeah. So and it's worse. It's worse. So it's definitely hotter in there.
And power on off, lightning strikes, whatever in our shop. No surge protection.
Nope.
That thing's just plugged right in.
It's just burning away.
And it's good. I know. 5 years.
I know.
I don't even know why it's still going. I wonder. We should try and do some math. How much money we've wasted? It's 120 watts.
Yeah.
Should we do it?
24/7, basically.
I don't have my phone. 120 watts. That's per hour, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the kilowatt hour thing. I don't know what we pay for. I think it's something like 18 cents an hour here.
Well, I'm sure it's some sort of a employee pay or a helper pay or something. we have a helper pay or light fixture.
Yeah, it's true.
Hanging in the warehouse.
We did some from American DJ too. I'm trying to think of what they were called. Gosh, I can't think of it. it was a cheaper version of the color pendant. And it had a fan, which was kind of its fail. It didn't have a heat sink body.
Oh,
it was
the Cobb Cannon Wash.
The
Cobb Cannon Wash was it was advertised as a house pendant.
It looked like a pendant, and they pushed it as that.
Yep.
But a lot of people used them as like just front lighting, like par things.
Yeah.
So that the heat again would dissipate better.
Right.
As a pendant, didn't work did its job. They didn't last long. They burned up as well.
They looked bad. They looked, if you went 100%, it was like the pink.
Yeah.
Because it was RG&B.
You're right. It was a rough. It was cheap.
Yeah.
It was half the cost of a color pendant.
Right. And it lasted half as long and it looked half as good.
Yeah. They ended up in a lot of like kids' rooms, youth rooms that we did where they just wanted to be able to turn the room color, but they didn't have any kind of budget.
Right.
So we used to have been there.
Then we used Spring Trees pendants.
Yes.
Which are, I think, even cheaper than the ADJ.
They're even cheaper. Way cheaper. So Spring Tree is, they're actually based in Nashville, and they just kind of white label their own products from China and bring them over. And it was this really economical entry into that kind of house lighting. And they got a bunch of different features, bunch of different options. But we use like their original pendants, and we still have those in places. And they're still, they're still burning away. I mean, we had some issues with them, but I think they worked way better than like the Canon Cobb thing, the Canon thing from ADJ.
Well, actually, one venue we put the Spring Trees is still fine. Another venue that we put in around the same time, they pretty much all died. So I think some of it might be venue specific, which means it's like power specific, or it's like dirty power specific, or how many times power is kicking on and off, or how many surges they have.
And these power supplies can't handle that. I mean, they should be variable in there, and they can handle the different. But the cheaper they are, it's probably just they probably can't handle the flex in the in the power. So yeah, we did those. We used a company called Color Beam, and they didn't have pendants, but they had like these 2x2 panel lights that you would drop in a drop ceiling.
Yep.
And they also had like small lights you could cut in to like a hard ceiling.
The recessed ones.
A recessed fixture. But again, RGBW, like it's still the same thing. So this house light phenomenon in the church just blew up, man. I mean, we've done so many of these jobs, and every church has a different type of ceiling. So our whole problem was always trying to figure out what to put in there. If it's a drop ceiling, a hard ceiling, a wood ceiling, is there pendants? Can we do them or not? And so we had all these different options to deal with.
Right.
And then it always came down to budget, like what's your money?
Yeah.
And that kind of determined what they picked.
Right. I like it. I love it. I mean, I remember the first time I saw it, I think it was at Celebration Church. They had the Chroma Q Inspires.
They were one of the first ones.
And we were there for a conference, and it was when their larger building just opened.
Yep.
And you walk in that auditorium, and like the lights were changing. I was like, "Whoa!"
It was so new.
This is atmosphere, man. This is creating atmosphere. This is different. It's changing. Yep. And then you have the songs; they all change. So you change the color with the song. So whatever your moving background is with your lyrics is blue. The whole room turns blue. It kind of like breaks the barrier between the stage and the rest of the room. Yep. It envelops you in a light, creates that atmosphere, creates that mood. I love it.
I do too.
I think it's a huge win. We've had it where clients, we put it all in and then they just use it as white.
Right.
Which is kind of lame.
I think it's the biggest bang for your buck for like your environment in your building, because it's so visual, and even just the normal person notices it.
Yeah.
You can, like, we put in super nice PAs and video walls and all this stuff, and the people of the church would walk in, and some people will notice, but tons of them, they don't even notice. Yeah, it doesn't trigger their brain.
You put in a great PA and it sounds amazing, you just get less complaints.
Yes. Right.
You don't get anyone coming up and saying, "Wow."
Exactly. But you walk in and it's white in the first song, and all the sudden the whole room changes blue. Everybody sees that. No matter who you are, you're like, "Whoa, the whole room just changed blue."
Right.
And so we always tell that to clients, like, if you're looking for response from your from your congregation, like this is an easy way to get people's attention, and they'll actually notice it and see something new like that.
If you don't want to do colors too, you still have variable whites you can do.
Right.
So you have all those different LED diodes,
Right.
so that you can dial in whatever type of white you want. You're not just getting whatever.
Yeah. If you pick your bulb at Home Depot and you put it in, like that's the color you got. And if you went too cold, the Calvin color. So
what would the Calvin be for like a
bright white? Like if you're like cold and you're like 6,000 or something. I mean, you're talking like hospital operating room.
And then you'd just be stuck with that forever.
And you're there forever unless you change all the bulbs.
Yeah. Or like really warm.
And you're down to 3,000, like really old Christmas tree lights that are almost orange.
Everyone looks yellowish orange.
So
so you can dial it in with those LEDs.
And everyone likes to do that now because of how much video is going on.
Broadcast.
And it's easy to like watch back your video feed and say, dang, I wish the lights were like just a little bit cooler because we look too orange. Well, next week you could just tap that number up a bit, a couple hundred at a time, and see how it looks on your camera on your next video output. And yeah, that's a great way of doing it.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's a big thing. So for broadcast, especially churches, they're broadcasting online. They have an online campus essentially. A lot of churches have like a church online. So they have a online pastor that essentially talks and hangs out. Sometimes remember Dwayne used to do like Call of Duty nights and stuff. Yeah. So like, hey, join my Call of Duty small group online church, Yep. So you have so much going online. You might have thousands of people. I've heard things where like, I think it was like Elevation during the pandemic was taking in more tithe from their online campus than they were from
people were watching.
From a physical location. I mean, obviously people weren't going to the locations as much, but that was a huge thing. So now you have a whole group of people watching online. So what does that mean? Well, you want to make people online at home feel like they're still part of the church.
Right.
And if all they're seeing is a talking head,
if
all they're seeing is pastor's head this big going like, welcome church, whatever. There's no foyer interaction.
Right.
There's no group interaction. There's no feeling of what's happening in the room. I mean, so much of communication and what humans do, we rely on the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
Laughing. I mean, that's why you go to a comedy show, all the jokes are funnier because you hear a whole group of people laughing at the same time. And it kind of like gets you going.
Scary movie, go to a theater and watch it.
Everyone's freaking out together, right? Yeah. At church, everyone's worshiping together.
Yeah.
And there's a thing there, right?
Yeah.
So trying to create that for online is huge. And what is that? You're showing the people.
Showing the room.
I love when churches do the lobby stuff pre-service for the online campus. I think that's huge.
Yeah.
Just a little like, what's up, y'all?
Yeah.
Getting ready for service. And like you see people walking around. You don't feel like such a, I don't know. You don't feel like a loser sitting at home like all alone.
It seems very real that way. Like it's like a real place.
Yeah.
It's not just watching back a recording. You see like the lobby and the action happening.
Right. And then during the service for worship, you're panning around, you're showing the big shots of the room, you're showing people worshiping, you're showing what's happening. You feel like you're connected if you're watching online. When people laugh during the sermon or something, like you kind of cut that shot and it makes you feel like you're part of it more.
Yeah.
So with that comes all that lighting because typically old school, you have really great broadcast lighting for your stage. And then it's just like a dark world of blackness behind it.
Yep.
And you kind of see silhouettes of people's heads and hands.
Yep.
Well, that's not going to do when you're like trying to engage people online. Light them up correctly, nicely with right color correction.
Right.
I mean, we got a project coming up. We're going to be doing that to the nth level. We're going to be doing like cinematic lighting for the crowd.
Yeah.
And we'll get back to you on that one. But it's such a huge thing.
Yeah.
And you see it. You feel it online.
Yeah, and the house lighting is what's going to get you there with that. And then however crazy you want to get with it. And even during worship, during music, throwing cameras out and seeing the room a different color or like it's, it makes it, like I said, it just makes it seem like more of a real place.
Right.
But if you don't have the option of doing it with your house lights, you're really kind of stuck, which is why everyone started going this way.
Right.
They wanted the ability to have more control of the room and the colors and the temperatures and the intensities quickly, not just on a dimmer somewhere, but like each light, even if you wanted to,
individually. Yeah.
Having that control is what everyone started to want. And so that's why the house lighting boom happened. Then it was just a matter of trying to figure out
the best fixture.
What do we use?
Which one's going to work?
And what's your budget? And how does it work with the room? And
you remember Bayside at the cafeteria? So when we were meeting in the cafeteria at Freedom, we just had light switches on the wall.
Yeah.
So you had the lighting operator was like waiting for the prayer and like click, 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 and turn them all off. And then you had to memorize the banks of lights so that you turn the right ones off and on at the right time.
Yeah.
And that was the lighting op.
Yeah.
And then you get into dimmers. So now you're doing dimming, but maybe your dimming circuits are banked as well in a way that doesn't work well for you.
Typically banked.
Yep. So you're banked like maybe rows or something. So you have to deal with that. Now DMX, theatrical fixtures, every single one. So you can do like, twinkling stars. Make them all look like twinkling stars. Make them all do like you can do like color throws,
changing front to back,
to back color throws, changing things. You can do it's just a lot of theatrical items you can do.
Yeah, and you don't have to go crazy. Like people are like, I don't want to do rock show or whatever.
I do,
but I mean, I do like it. But you can do it tastefully, even in a very contemporary or a very traditional. We've put them in very traditional buildings as well, and you can do it very tastefully, and it's nice.
It's true. But I want to be that close to a seizure.
That's right.
That's what I want. I want strobes.
We've been in some places where we've done.
I want to be worshiping, be like.
We used to do it when we were on staff. We would do some crazy stuff with the lighting.
Oh, it was fun stuff.
If you have the access to it, I mean, that's why people did it. They wanted, as church began to be more and more prevalent in the production heavy side. It was like, what else can we do in the room? Oh, house lights? Okay. Now I can do colors. I can do fades. I can do sweeps from left to right or front to back or change the room of color or whatever it is. And that's, people started seeing it, and then every church wanted to do it. But I like it. I think it's a great thing to up your service. And
no more dimming racks. No more lamps.
Yeah.
Just subpar fixtures that die.
Right. Unless you buy really good ones.
Unless you buy the good ones. Or you get lucky with the cheap ones.
Right. Or we're going to find out if that's the case. So where we are now is we thought this would be a cool podcast to show, because we've done 2 big house lighting installs in the past month.
Yep.
A pretty good size room and then a large room.
Yep.
A big room.
Yep.
And the difference in these fixtures is truly A/B. Like it is nowhere near apples to apples.
Right.
It is apples to oranges on every level. Quality, price, functionality, like everything, it's completely different. And so we're going to get to kind of see if you're still around 5 years from now. We can talk about what
we'll
really
do a podcast then.
But so, and this was based strictly on budget.
Yep.
If everyone had a large budget, everyone would probably say, let me just buy the best ones out there and not have to deal with it anymore.
Absolutely.
So that's the idea. But these things are expensive if you go with, all right, so let's talk about it. The light source.
Well,
where'd you want to go?
Well, all right, go ahead.
I was just going to explain the 2 different ones.
Well, do you want to show them instead?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's just show them.
Okay.
All right, so we'll jump into it. Y'all figure it out. It's no surprise, but
yeah.
and we've already had like a bunch of crap on our social media stuff.
It's a brand new fixture you never heard of.
Right. Well, okay, so both these churches were competing for the darkest church in America.
It's true.
I think the first one won it.
Mission City won it.
Mission City. Okay, so let's look at this.
They needed some house lighting, man, by far. They really, really needed it.
Mouse isn't working.
It wasn't I just think I want to kind of upgrade a little bit.
Yeah.
These guys needed house lights, man.
Yeah. So Mission City Church, up nearby Tampa. I forget what city exactly.
Largo, I think.
Yeah. Let me cut here. Boom. All right, cool. So this here was their room ahead of the lighting install. So what happened? There's been a lot of different churches that have met in this place. So I think the church that's meeting there now was not the one that painted this. I think it was a previous pastor or previous church. And maybe it was cool at the time. I don't know. But you can just see here it's painted black. It wasn't built that way. That's tongue groove wood ceilings.
Right.
Those are wood beams. That was all exposed, probably some nice oak or something like that, like a stained oak or something like that. and it was probably beautiful. The walls were probably white, but they went in and went, club church.
Oh yeah,
and it was blacked out. They have some, they have some lights or some windows up there. They have some drapes on it or some blinds, some electric blinds that come up and down to kind of try and help with that. But I mean, look how dark that is. They had, I think they had like.
See it. Pause it right there. See that little bitty light?
Well, you're gonna get me pausing now, bro.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we ever paused before.
Oh, dude.
But
we need a Jamie. Where's Jamie at?
You can see the little light right there.
Yeah.
There you go. That was a house light for them.
I think this room is around a 900 room, eight to 1,000, somewhere in there.
Not a small room.
And it had like 6 fixtures.
It had like 6 of those in the room.
Yep.
That's it.
And it had 6 fixtures in there for, I think, at least 8 or 9 years. We actually went there and did a proposal like 8 or 9 years ago with whoever the church was at that time. And they wanted house lights. We gave them a proposal. Didn't happen.
Right.
A couple, church leaders later, we're back. But yeah, literally 6 fixtures up there. No bueno. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but this is not the way we want to feel when we walk into the church. So it was super dark. They even have seating underneath the balcony, and they had some lights there.
Yeah.
Some can lights. It was a little bit better, but you can just see how.
I mean, all that light right there is from the windows.
Yeah, that's all windows.
Like when those blinds were closed, it was as dark as could be.
Yep. So yeah, that's before the install. Then during, boom, there it is. This is the after, actually.
Oh yeah.
So such a huge difference. The windows are shut right now, so all this lighting that you're seeing is house lights. And this fixture is the Springtree Spatial Pendant 50.
Right.
It's a 50 watt, and this is all white.
Yep.
And the reason we did that, they have an RGB version, but to get a true white out of the RGB, you are manipulating the wattage to each of those diodes.
Right.
And you can get a white, good looking white,
yeah, but the
intensity won't be as high.
Right.
So it's not as bright when you get that white that you like. So these are just pure white. I forget what Kelvin. Do you remember?
I don't remember what they are.
I don't either.
I can't remember.
I want to say like 3,700.
They're pretty warm.
Yeah.
But they're okay.
But these were just pure white. So all 3 of the diodes, or however many diodes they had, were all the same color. The 3,700 Kelvin diode or whatever the Kelvin is. Sorry if I'm messing that up. Some Springtree guy's going to be like this. So yeah, we did those. Now we had used these in the past.
Yeah, the reason we did these
because they're tried and true.
Yeah,
we tried them.
We told you before we used the Springtree pendants before and had kind of mixed results from them.
Yep.
But we had used another fixture that they had called the Spatial Flat, which was a fixture that goes up in a recessed ceiling, and it's powered in a different location. So its power supply and DMX control is in a rack room somewhere, and it's just low voltage cabling coming to these fixtures. So there's really nothing going on in the fixture to create a lot of heat or anything other than the LED. There's not these extra components. There's not a power supply there, none of that. And so those spatial flats from Springtree, we have in multiple projects, and we've had them in for years, and we've had 0 issues with them.
Right.
Like we feel very confident. It's a very economical way of doing lighting that way in like a hard ceiling. Well, then they put out this pendant, which is that same exact spatial flat, but it's just built into a small pendant body.
And an eye bolt.
And that's all it is. Again, there's no power supply in it, nothing. It all goes to an external supply somewhere else. Yeah. And so because of that, we decided to go with this in this building because of the budget we had for the room.
Right. Yeah, it's it makes it a lot easier, in some ways. Some parts are harder because you have to run a lot of cabling.
Yep.
This was 2 fixtures per output on the power supply.
Right. So if our power supply was 150 feet away or wherever it was, you're running a home run cable for every 2 fixtures.
Yeah. You're running one cable to the first, and then you're running a jumper cable between 2.
And this one was tough too because it had the wood ceiling, so we couldn't.
We had to staple so clean.
Yeah, it was.
Have those cables so nice and staple nice.
The black painted, whoever did that before saved us because we could use black cabling and it was a lot easier.
Right. Yeah, so it's
those are the spatial flats I was talking about.
Those are spatial flats.
Yep, in a drop ceiling or in a hard ceiling, and they're great.
Right.
For the price, they are great. And they make an RGB version as well.
Yep. This next thing here just shows the architectural controller, which is our Q server. For those who don't know, we need to control these lights when the lighting console's on and when it's off.
Right.
And when it's off, you just want to be able to go and click a button on the wall, like turn the lights on. Like anyone else, you walk into a room, you got to turn the lights on. And so the architectural controller, this one, the Q server, it saves all those scenes so that you can just click a button and it turns on. But once you turn the lighting console on, it grabs control. No, snot-nosed little kid can go over and turn their lights off in the middle of a service or something like that. So that's just the architectural controller. Look at the difference, man. You can see the floor. I mean, the staff was like, "Man, we got to paint. We got to we got to fix. We got to patch." They could see everything for the first time in like 10 years.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it turned out really good. These are the power supplies right here.
Yep.
So DMX 1202X. So I think they're 12 output each, I believe.
Yep. Those are cool because they rack. They make a bigger power supply than that. It's an 18. Has 18 outputs, I think. Or maybe 16, I can't remember. But it has to be mounted on a wall.
Yeah, we used that on this project. We used it for that underseating lighting. We put one of those power supplies in an electrical room.
Closet or electrical room, yeah.
And they just mounted the wall.
Yep.
But yeah, these get racked. This rack is old school. It's not our rack. We don't sell racks from the 70s.
Yeah, that thing is old, man.
Yeah, but they had that laying around, so we're like, yeah, absolutely, we'll use it. Oops. So these are the units that get both the DMX control, telling it what to do, and then the outputs go to each fixture and power it and change the intensity or colors. In this case, there's no colors, but yeah. So it's under.
Look how bright that is, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was a game changer, man. So no longer the darkest church in America. I mean, up there is a little dangerous before. On the balcony, it was so dark. There's steps. So this turned out really good.
Yeah, big change.
Big change. And that's the that's a switch.
Yep.
That's a Q server switch.
They work with the Q server.
Yep. So so that was it's a pretty big thing. I forget how many we put in there.
There was a lot, but
I think around 60 or something.
From an economical standpoint, we couldn't have done it any cheaper. And we would not. So we've done so many house lights that we just, at some point we said, we're not using certain lights anymore. If you want to use them, you can do them yourself and figure it out, but we're not going to do it. It's not worth it.
This one was almost a favor.
Yes.
It was a favor. It was a budget thing. We tried to get in there at their budget, and we're like, well, do you want to go cheap? We've used these in the past. They worked. And
the only reason we did it was because of we've used these before.
Right.
And we're just assuming that they're going to hold up.
So they know the risks involved. They know what they bought. They know the price that they bought it at.
Right.
And we'll see, and if it works, that's great. They have a couple spares. I'm sure they'll have something go on it eventually. I mean, it's Florida, so lightning strikes and jazz like that is tough.
Yeah.
So.
But that's spring tree.
Yep. Okay.
That's cheap.
Right.
But so far, so good.
So then we go to our home church.
Yeah.
Bayside Community Church.
Here in Lakewood Ranch, their Lakewood Ranch location, which is their mothership, their main broadcast location.
Seats 2,500.
Yeah.
Big production, big cool stuff.
Yeah, really cool room. We did the LED wall there too a couple years ago. I think we did a podcast on it.
Yep.
Same room.
Right. So the history of that lighting was Integrator A from back in the day.
We were on staff at the church. We're talking 13, 14 years ago at this point.
We did we needed theatrical house lights and the 6 bar
was very expensive.
Yep. So we went with 6 bars.
Yep.
And
they burnt up.
And then
giant room.
And then we went to the color pendants.
We replaced them with color pendants.
Yep. And they lasted a good amount of years.
I mean, they dealt with issues with them, and they were constantly switching them out and managing them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had them in there for
what components die on those? So we fix them now.
Yeah, there's a
Power supply.
Power supply, which is one of the main things that die in them. And then
how much is that part around? Is it like $50, $60, something like that?
It's probably close to like $100.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, if you're buying it separately.
Yeah.
And then there's the PCB, which is what is controlling the colors and everything on the actual LEDs.
Mm-hmm.
And think of like a computer circuit board, like the green and with all the stuff on it that you've probably seen in things. It looks like that.
Yep.
And then those would burn out as well. And that's a more expensive piece because that you're basically replacing your LEDs and you're replacing like the thing that emits the light.
Yep.
And it's a couple $100 or something like that. And so what happened was both of these main parts started going out and people were sending them in and they were just replacing the part that died. So if we lost a power supply, that's easy. Change the power supply, get it back. Well, then your PCB would eventually go out as well. And what people would do is they would fix the one thing and think they fixed the light, and then the other part would go out, and they'd be like, all right, this light just sucks or whatever, and it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
So if you've lost a color, if you've lost like a red, green, or blue, or you have like a weird hue in a color, that's the LED portion of it. That's that PCB part that needs to be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, we have started replacing these things for people that want to replace them and just have them. But when we do it, we replace both of those parts, regardless if one of them is still working or not. We replace them both. Supposedly, they've done things to them to make them a little better over the years and a little more robust.
The power supply?
The power supply and the PCB as well.
Okay.
But we don't know if that's real or not. So we just replace them both.
Yeah.
And so when we do a repair, it's usually like around $400 or something by the time labor and everything, and you're buying all the parts, and so $400.
It's cheaper than
buying a new light these days for sure.
But
then you're
still
working
with
on
that fixture,
a color pendant that's most likely years old and a lot of use.
Right.
But you've replaced the two main components in it,
right?
And hopefully you get more use out of it. So that's what happened to Bayside's at this big room. They all just started crapping out, and then it's like,
then they had a couple fixtures that like even messed up the line of DMX.
So there's a DMX module in them as well, which is a cheaper part. Usually don't have issues with it, but some of theirs did, and so that was disrupting the DMX in and outs and sending weird stuff, and then like your whole chain would start flashing and doing weird things. And you didn't know which light was doing it.
So then you're turning off the power to all those fixtures so that you're not messing people up. And
in a giant room, that's a big issue. You can't just quickly go up and check a light. Like it's first you need a 45-foot scissor lift to get to the ones on the ground. The ones over the raised seating, you're just screwed. You can't get to them.
Very difficult.
I mean, without a very specialty lift, which we have.
Yeah, we'll show.
But most churches don't have that, and it's about impossible to get up to them. So you just end up turning them off, which is what they did. And they had a very, very large room that was really, really dark for a long time.
Which some people like that. They go to church, they hide out in the upper seating, and no one sees them.
The new production heavy churches, a lot of times they go darker during worship, so it kind of was okay.
Right.
But they pushed it to the limit, I think.
Well, let's take a look at it. So this is the before. So this is kind of what the lighting was before.
Right.
So there it is.
So look at the darkness in the raised seating areas.
Yeah.
The floor doesn't look as bad on camera, but it was pretty rough. I would say 60% of their lights were not working in there, I think is what they thought. Maybe even more.
Yeah.
You can see a big dark area there in front of house.
Yeah.
But these bright LED walls in there helped a lot because it would shoot a lot of light out into the audience. So it made it passable and doable during their services. And the reasoning for them waiting is just because of the size of the room and the cost. I mean, to do a project,
it's a lot.
It's a big project and it's expensive.
Right.
And then it was like, all right, if we're actually going to do it, what do we do? Like, Do we buy a cheaper fixture again and save some money up front and just kind of deal with it? Or do we try to find something that is very robust, very commercial, willing to stay on 24/7, has like a massive warranty, but you pay for it up front?
Right.
And so it was a lot of discussions back and forth and designs, and ultimately Bayside ended up going with the latter route, which is let's buy the best light we can possibly buy.
Yep.
And hope that this thing lasts us a long time.
Right. So we worked with a company called The Light Source.
Yep.
And they helped us with photometrics and the layout. We kind of had to do a 1-for-1 swap on this.
Yep.
Because changing out the electrical and moving things around was going to cost upwards of $100,000.
Right.
So, so we worked with them, worked out which fixtures. It ended up being the ML series for the larger one for most of the main floor.
The mini is the ML. The HL is
HL. My bad. HL for the main area.
The main area and the lower parts of the upper seating.
And then the ML, which is a smaller fixture, less wattage,
right,
for the upper
right,
seating area. So I've got a couple of videos of during the install if you want to watch.
Yeah. So a quick update or a quick note on these fixtures. They are also those are the
so we had half here.
Right.
So we had half them up at this point.
Those are the new ones in white.
Yeah. You can kind of see in this video the difference between what it used to be with the red lights. I mean, red.
You can see there how many fixtures were not working for them.
Yeah.
Like the red ones were the only ones working.
Right.
And the floor was the same way. I mean, there were tons of them not working.
Yeah. This guy's up in the lifts.
This was a tough install, man.
Yeah. Don't get me started on the lifts.
We had lift issues the whole time.
Yeah.
Look at this thing.
This is our lift. This is the Reachcraft.
This is what this thing is made for right here.
Yeah.
I mean, multiple elevations.
Straddling
rows.
Yep.
And able to sneak up into little spots.
Yeah.
Like.
Look at Tyler running. That's funny. So yeah, this was during the install. You see more of the lights going in here. I think I have some pictures of the actual fixtures though. Fixture cleanup. Let's see. Yeah, so these are that's the HLs there.
Yep.
And I did a quick video showing like where you address them and stuff, but yeah, that's it. Those are big at the bottom. Those are big heat sinks, and that's what keeps those things rocking and rolling for so long. 10-year warranty.
10-year warranty.
10-year warranty. So there you go.
That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist in most of anything. Period in the world. I mean, and in the lighting, it definitely doesn't exist. So.
Right.
The idea is you invest more up front with a fixture like this that's going to give you 10 years complete coverage. At the same time, the quality of the light is extremely high as well.
Yeah, the fade, like the shading between the colors, dimming curves.
All of it is so clean. Now, the cool thing about these is they have the red, green, blue, white in them, but they also are able to send the max amount of power to each color. So this is the cool thing. When you get an RGBW light from Elation or whatever, and you turn on red, if it's 120 watt light, you don't get 120 watts of red.
No offense, Elation.
Yeah, it just don't. You get 30 watts.
We all know it though.
So you get 30 watts each, a 30 red, a 30 blue, a 30 green, a 30 white, or however they split it up. But that's what it is.
Right.
That's why when you turn them on red or blue, the intensity comes way down. It's not nearly as bright in the room.
Yep.
The light source, you get full power on your colors, and they kind of manage that wattage as you're changing even into like a teal or something, and you're using blue and green. They are splitting that wattage up to where you still get the full output, and man, you can really tell.
And that white diode, you're able to order a specific Kelvin.
Yes.
So in 500 Kelvin
500
increments.
Kelvin increments. Yep.
Yeah. So if you know you're gonna, you want a solid 4,000 Kelvin, well then just order it with that diode.
And that doesn't mean you're stuck on that Kelvin either. You use that majority of the time, but if you want to go a little cooler or wider, you can do that with the RGB mixing it in.
Yeah. Let's look at some after pictures. This is what it's all about right here. Da-na-na-na.
So once again, they saw. It was pretty much immediate. They were like, "Oh shoot, we got to clean the carpets."
Oh, the carpets were rough, bro. They did.
Yeah.
They cleaned them. They brought in the whole crew. Look at that. That's
Look at
prepping
that,
for
dude.
service. They're doing at the movies right now.
Yep. They don't usually have red carpet, but they do for this series.
Yeah. No, they put that out for a lead pastor every weekend. You're right.
Look at that.
Yeah, so this is a different thing now. It's you walk in there and you're like, oh, I see everyone. No one's hiding in lurking in the shadows.
I really noticed like the color of the chairs.
Yeah.
The color of the sound panels on the wall. Like
Yep.
all that went away for years, man.
Yeah. There's a fixture.
Yep.
Got paracord on it because they're so close to the AC.
We hung those with a grip lock system that was built into the fixture itself.
Right.
And then with a steel cable and a safety cable as well.
Yep.
For extra.
You can see them here hanging. So these require line level, so 120 volts, and you put your circuits where you need them. These are all there already, so we just kind of went where they were.
We did not daisy chain any power here, so just 1-to-1 on the power.
Yep.
No jumping.
And there's a couple different runs of DMX to them. I forget how many, but that's it.
The cool thing is
lower intensity there.
Even at lower intensities, you can just, the quality, you just see it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
That's something you really see in a cheaper fixture is when you start lower the intensity at the lower intensities, the colors get really odd.
Yep, they start changing.
Yeah.
The dimming, you bring it down and you're like, oh, that used to be blue, the blue I liked, but now it's not.
These, it's just really cool.
Right.
We've tried to use these lights for many, many years on different projects, but the cost of them is high.
Yeah.
And so it's an easy thing to cut and say, well, let's just do something that costs a quarter of it.
Yeah, and deal with it later.
Deal with it.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it still, but if you can afford it, take care of the issue right now and do it once. And they look great. They work great.
They look really good.
And 10-year warranty, so if anything happens.
Yeah, the Light Source claims they have projects that are pushing 15 years old with the same lights, just cranking.
Yeah, they said they have like a fixture in their warehouse, like how we have that. Yeah. They have one in there that they've had in there for like 15 years, just on all day, every day, and nothing.
And you can tell when you look inside these things, like it's heavy duty. The things are not light. No. They're chunky, and big old power supply in there, and like it looks like it'll last a long time. Yeah. So that's the AB. I mean,
pretty huge. I mean, both look great.
Both look great.
Both were in the dark, and now they are in the light.
Yes.
In different ways, different budgets. It worked.
Yeah.
Both places worked. We'll see how long both of them are working. But yeah, it ended up being good. House lights are, they're tough install sometimes. It's up and down and
both
lifts,
those rooms
and
were
it's
tough.
Yeah, they're very difficult.
Yeah.
The guys killed it. The guys were really good. They were very detail oriented. They, our guys were always, watching out and making sure that it's done the right way. So,
and in this case, it had to happen in between services. Some projects we can stretch out, but something like this, when you're yanking all the lights out.
So how many fixtures were at Bayside?
So about 135, I think, is what it ended up being.
So we took down and reinstalled 135 fixtures in 5 days.
Yeah. And in super tough locations.
Yeah, and up on that lift.
Seating
Keegan
area,
was on that Reachcraft. He was the Reachcraft dude. We had to lift that thing around all this. I mean, it was not fun.
It was slow. It was days up there. Just on the ground, on the flat part, I mean, they were cranking those lights out, because you can just zip around on a lift.
Yep.
But using those specialty boom lifts and then our lift as well, the Reachcraft, that's slow. But it all happened, man.
Yeah, it worked out great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it for today's podcast. House lights. That's what we did the last couple of weeks.
There's a large splay of house lighting world.
Yeah.
I mean, on pricing and quality, and we can kind of meet your budget. I think we have a lot of different options, and we can tell you a lot of terrible stories and a lot of good stories. Right. I think, and kind of guide you along the way.
So yeah, if you need any house lights, I think we've figured it out by now.
Got a lot under.
I don't know how many thousands of house lights we've installed. It's ridiculous, but
I know.
Or anything else, any other AVL integration. If y'all are doing a new building or you're putting a new PA together or whatever, we'd love to be a part of it. So give us a call or www.crowndesigngroup.org. Also crowncare.help.
Hit us up on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok, I think. We're on YouTube and the podcast. Go on there, like them, subscribe them, comment, leave us questions and stuff. If you have a question about something, we'll bring it up, talk about it.
Yeah, we'll be bringing some other projects here in the next little bit. We'll have some other guests on and stuff too, so it'll be fun.
Yep.
All right, peace.